Christmas!
偽物
I'm sure everyone remembers the night before Christmas, where our families told us to close our eyes so Santa could come and visit. And as we closed our eyes, we all had a single thought. What would Santa's curse technique be? Too much of a cold open? My bad. Let's get back to the original idea. Basically, this channel's been around for a year, and it wouldn't be where it is today without the help of you guys. So I wanted to take a dive back into the channel's roots and do a JJK analysis. Plus, I miss doing them. On top of that, the holidays are around the corner, so combining both of these things, I came up with this idea. Everyone, put on your Christmas socks, because they're about to be blown off. Before we can talk about his curse techniques, we need to do a deep dive on who Santa Claus actually is, or more so, where he came from. Santa Claus actually originated from a guy named Saint Nicholas, who was born in 280 AD. Saint Nicholas himself was actually known for his generosity, which helped form Santa Claus as a character. Later down the line, poems and artwork formed who we know today. With a little help from old legends and new additions, we're looking at the peak of Jolly. With that being said, Santa himself does change depending on who you ask. Some view him as a skinny guy, while some view him as a bigger fellow. We'll be basing this analysis on the latter. Now that we've discussed who Saint Nicholas is, we can get to the first part of this analysis, which is doing something JJK himself didn't do, addressing the JJK clan system. I believe Santa himself would be in a clan, with the abilities and the title of Santa being passed down for generations. This would explain Santa being around for so long instead of him being immortal. His traits get passed down to the next heir in the family clan. This can be seen in JJK with the Satoru clan, where both the Six Eyes and Limitless technique are passed down. Gojo is considered the strongest of his clan because he is the first user in a while to have both of the abilities. I believe Santa's clan would be called the Nicholas clan, or potentially the Jolly clan. Speaking of potential, another clan we could reference is Megami's clan, or at least the clan that passes down the Ten Shadows technique. The idea of clans, or at least what they're supposed to be, is an explanation of how some techniques can get passed down. Now, onto our next topic, techniques. I have multiple techniques I believe that would be passed down throughout the Nicholas clan. That being said, we're going to start with the first one, which I think would have a 100% chance to pass down to their next heir, meaning every Santa would have it. This technique, of course, is called the list. Basically, this technique immediately evaluates every individual in close proximity to the user and puts them either in the nice list or the naughty list, depending on their actions for the year. This technique has positives and negatives. If the opponent is on the nice list, the user does less damage to them and has a 0% chance to hit a black flash. But if the opponent is on the naughty list, the user's damage is multiplied by 3, allowing for stronger attacks and gives them a more likely chance to hit a black flash. Onto our next technique. I believe this one would be easier to inherit, but it is not a 100% chance. That being Grinch Fist. This technique allows the user to use their cursed energy like a glove, with each black flash accumulating more energy to further increase the damage of the glove. This technique alone sounds like a little meh, but with the addition of the last curse technique, which is a sure chance to inherit, it immediately becomes an A tier technique, with the user being able to hit black flashes more likely, allowing damage to stack to extremes. The curse energy buildup would only last around 20 minutes before fully dissolving, but if the user hits another black flash anytime within this time period, the timer resets. This technique is more of a side one, but when paired up with the first technique and our next technique, it does some damage. What's the next technique, you ask? I call this technique the Jolly Meter. The Jolly Meter changes the speed of the user, allowing them to go from a normal human to around the same speed we saw Hikari and Kashimo fight at, depending on the date. The closer it is to December 25th, the faster the user is. The strongest the user can be is on Christmas Eve, which could possibly be the explanation for how fast Santa goes on Christmas night. Because how else would he do it? A flying sleigh? Yeah, right. Next you're gonna tell me the reindeer can fly too. This technique would be a sure chance to inhabit, which means every Santa Claus would have it. This fourth technique is not a sure chance to inherit. You know, not every Santa Claus could rival Sakuna, but they sure do have a chance if they have this technique, which I call elf manipulation. This technique rivals the Ten Shadows technique, which basically allows Santa to summon elves, kind of like the rabbits that Megami can summon. However, there wouldn't be variations of the elves, there would only be combinations. Kind of like Villager News back in the day, where we could see them stack on top of each other, maybe like hold down opponents so Santa can pummel them with like Christmas joy. basically just like little helpers that he can summon to help fight. Onto our fifth technique, which I call the Gift of Christmas. It's basically just a box that the user can summon before fights. And basically, you can get 2 items out of the box. A, milk, which will make you more durable because of the calcium. Or B, cookies, which will basically give you a sugar rush, making you even faster. This technique, combined with the Jolly Meter, would make Santa go extremely fast. This could even explain how he goes to so many houses in one night. Finally, we move on to our last and most anticipated part, the domain.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas!
I believe that Santa Claus would have a complete domain called the North Pole. Basically, it's like the elf manipulation technique, but with an endless supply of them in the domain. The domain itself would freeze opponents from the cold and would take place around a gigantic Christmas tree. The final obstacle for opponents in the domain is falling ornaments, which fall off the tree in the middle. If an opponent is hit by an ornament, it does about the same damage as Sukuna's slash. I'm sure most of you have heard of the strongest of today and the strongest of history, but if a user was born with all of these techniques, I believe he could rival both of them. The jolliest of all time versus anyone would most likely end up with the opponent lying in a pile of coal. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey you! Yes, you! Are you getting tired of those overused, boring emojis? Well, look no further. The Oogling membership gives you up to 4 new emojis! Yes, 4 whole emojis, only for 99 cents. Still not convinced? Why not hear a review from this lucky individual who got the deal for a full price?
Wow, this membership is so great that after I bought it, Oogling personally came to my house, kissed me on the lips, and gave me an early copy of Half-Life 3.
And that's not all. You can also get a loyalty badge, discounts, I don't have any merch so this doesn't do much, possibly more emojis for only 99 cents? Wow!
Please do not consume. Possible side effects include nausea, risk of stroke, dementia, and death. Please talk to your healthcare provider if you notice any changes in your everyday life.